Good morning and welcome to Family Computer Center. In this video, we are going to discuss about enabling autosave option and installing live server for Visual Studio Code. So, as the title reads, today we are going to learn something which will make your developer life really easy. For example, here we have an index.html file, and in this HTML file, we just now made a menu only, okay? So below this menu, I just want to have a heading, right? Okay, so before that, we will see how does this look like right now. So I'm just copying the path of my index.html file, switch back to my browser and go to the path I copied. So you can see we have a website which is having nothing inside in it except a menu. So we have a menu here and we have a place for logo here, but our body section is empty. Okay, so I'll switch back to my Visual Studio Code and I'm going to add a heading one. So H1, and inside the H1 I'm going to write Family Computer Center. Okay, so this is my heading. So when I switch back to my browser and once I refresh, that heading doesn't appear in my page. So do you know what mistake I made? Yes, I forgot to save the changes I made with index.html. Correct? Okay, so you can see on the top of the title bar here, index.html, there is a white round circle which which shows you that like you haven't saved something in this file. Okay, so each time when I make a changes in this file or my css file, I'm supposed to go to file and click on what, save, or I have to use the keyboard shortcut control s. Then when I go back to my browser and when I refresh my page, it will show my heading over there. Correct? Okay. So we want to make it a little more easy. That means we don't want each time go and click the save button and go back to the browser. So what we can do with this Visual Studio Code is, there is, when you go to the file, there is an option called auto save. That means whatever you do with this code editor will be automatically saved along with when you type the uh, code elements or something when you type in the inside this HTML document or CSS documents. Okay, let me try. So I'm changing the heading Family Computer Center to FCC Qatar. So I'll just switch back to my browser without saving, and when I refresh it, it shows FCC Qatar. That means the title which I updated is reflected in my browser. So the title which which I have written is automatically saved by Visual Studio Code. So this makes a developer's life a little more easy, right? So you don't need to press Control S or file save each time you make a change. You can simply activate this auto save option to do the same. Okay, so now the next problem I'm facing, like when I go back to my browser, always I have to click on the refresh button to execute the changes I made in Visual Studio Code, in either in my HTML document or in my CSS document. There is an easy way to fix that also. There is something called a live server. That's an extension added to the Visual Studio Code. So to add that extension, what you have to do is like you can click this extension button and you can search here for live server. Okay, so you can see here live server. So once you reach the live server, you can click the install button. So it will be installing. Okay. So it may take some time, depends on your computer's internet speed and connection and all those things. Now this is installed. You can see in the place of install, there is uninstall now. So the live server is back, it is in action. So it is saying like that, okay. So now what I'm going to do is like once I installed the live server, I can open my page by right click and what, open with the live server. So what will happen is like your browser will be having a page which is having the live server address and the index.html. Now let's go back to our code and make some changes in it. Okay, so I'm changing this back to family computer center Doha. Okay, so I didn't save because we don't need to save because we already activated the autosave option, and I just switch back to my browser. I can see there without clicking this refresh button, this thing, the title already got updated. So that's because of the live server. So this autosave option and the live server option is the two options makes the developer's life a little more easy and flexible. So they don't need to save the changes they make, and they don't need to press the refresh button each time they come back to the browser. Hope you enjoyed the lesson. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure that you subscribe to our channel so that you will not miss any further video we post. See you again. Bye for now.